You know from Dusk Till Dawn, the movie where George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino start as criminals on the run, then bam, suddenly we're fighting vampires in a Mexican bar. It's memorable and it's shocking, and everyone talks about that crazy genre switch. But here's what most people don't know. Alfred Hitchcock did the exact same thing in 1960 with Psycho, except he did it so perfectly that you probably never even notice it happened. And that's not all. He did it better, way better. And today I'm going to show you one of cinema's most unnoticed genre switch. Psycho starts as a crime thriller. We meet Marion Crane, a woman so desperate to be with a man she loves that she steals $40,000 from her job. That's about $400,000 in today's money. We follow her as she runs away with this stolen cash. We're nervous for her, we're rooting for her to escape. The police are after her. It's a tense crime story about a woman on the run. And then, about halfway into the film, Hitchcock kills her. It happens at what screenwriters call the midpoint, or the first culmination. In that famous shower scene, Marion is murdered by what appears to be an old woman, Norman Bates' jealous, controlling mother. Now, what happened with the crime thriller we thought we were watching? It just completely disappears. Now we're watching something totally different. We're watching Norman, this lonely young man who lives with his psychologically abusive mother, and he tries to protect her by covering up her crime. He cleans the bathroom, disposes the Marion's body, sinks her car in the swamp. We've switched from crime thriller to psychological horror. And here's where I noticed Hitchcock's genius the first time I watched it. There's this moment where Marion's car, with her body inside, stops sinking in the swamp. It just sits there for a second, and Norman is terrified it won't go all the way down. And suddenly I realized I want this car to disappear. I'm worried it's not going to sink. A minute ago, I was rooting for Marion to escape with the money, and now I'm hoping a car with her dead body sinks into a swamp. That's how fast Hitchcock switches your emotional investment from one character to another. Now let's step back for a moment and think back to From Dusk Till Dawn. When those vampires show up, it's jarring, right? Some people love it, some people hate it, but everybody notices it. The genre switch is the main thing anyone talks about with that film. My friend back in the 90s, when the film came out, literally said he wished the vampires had never shown up, that it should have just stayed a crime film. The switch divided audiences because it was so obvious, so in your face. But Psycho? I've never heard anyone say, I wish they just stuck with Marion's story about stealing the money. Never. Why? Because Hitchcock makes the switch so seamless that we completely forget about the money, the boyfriend, the original crime. Our attention is totally captured by Norman's disturbing world. So here is what I want you to think about it. How does Hitchcock pull this off? How does he make a genre switch that should feel jarring instead feel completely natural? It comes down to four things that Hitchcock understood better than almost any filmmaker before or since. First, there is familiarity of the problem. Marion and Norman are different, but have similar internal conflict. Marion had a problem. She was trapped in a relationship with a man who couldn't commit because of money issues. Norman has a problem which is eerily similar in its core. He's trapped with a controlling mother who dominates every aspect of his life. Both characters are victims of their circumstances. That's why we can transfer our sympathy so easily from Marion to Norman. The situation feels new, but it's actually the same core, just takes a darker extreme. It is one of the reasons why these characters are bonding so easily when they meet. Hitchcock uses the scenes of this bonding as a quiet exposition of Norman's character. When they speak and Marion eats Norman's sandwiches, you feel the connection between them. And it's all there to introduce the character of Norman, which takes me to the point number 2. He hooks you into caring about characters in just minutes. Look at the opening scene with Marion and her boyfriend Sam. In just 4 minutes of dialogue, you understand exactly who they are, what they want, and why they can't have it. You're emotionally invested before you even realize it happened. This means when Marion dies, Hitchcock has already built up enough goodwill with you that you're willing to follow him into a completely new story with Norman. Now, most directors take 20 or 30 minutes to get you to care about the characters. Hitchcock does it in 4. Now, he also manipulates your moral compass so skillfully that you root for whoever he wants you to root for. At the beginning, Marion steals $40,000, which should make us dislike her, but Hitchcock makes the victim of her theft so unsympathetic that suddenly the theft feels justified. We want her to take his money. The same skill applies throughout the film, making us side with characters doing questionable things because of how he frames their situations. Later on, we will side with Norman. And number 4, he controls your perceptions with pure technical mastery. There's this moment where Norman has to carry his mother down the stairs. If Hitchcock shows us everything, the ending is ruined. But he needs to show us something. His solution? A crane shot from directly above that follows Norman up the stairs while we hear him arguing with his mother. The unusual angle hides what we can see, but the continuous camera movement and the dialogue distracts us so completely that we never question why we're seeing it from this perspective. He's literally hiding information in plain sight, and we don't even notice because he's that good at controlling where we look and what we think about. If you want to dive deeper, I released 3 mini classes on Skillshare where I break down exactly how Hitchcock achieves each of these techniques, analyzing specific scenes and camera angles. If you're interested, use the invitation link below to get 1 month free access. And that's it. Take care.